Hi, David again for ConcertBlogger.com. Today I have the wonderful privilege to be sitting down with David from the group Blue Healer. How are you tonight?
I'm doing wonderful and very excellent name, sir.
Good. Yes, I'm also a David. Never forget a David. And that's one way to remember your name.
There you go.
So how are you liking New York? You guys, is this your first time in New York? You guys are here for a show tonight over at Rockwood Music Hall.
Playing tonight on the Lower East Side.
Yes. Yeah.
Nailed it. And this is like my 5th time in New York.
Oh, good.
It's always exciting.
Yeah, so playing in New York is really cool in that there's so much musical diversity and so many different types of music that are happening on a daily basis here. It must be very inspirational in some ways.
It is very inspirational. I went and hung out. My buddy produces music, and I went to his studio that he just started working at and listened to some crazy stuff that he's doing. And he's like an old friend from high school.
Really?
And so he's making this wild electronic music, and it's cool to hear it because I know where he's coming from too.
Yeah, that's so awesome because, I think one of my catchphrases that I have is it used to be a DIY world, but it's really now a DIT world. And that it was do it yourself, and you had to like be in your bedroom and with your 8-track recorder or whatever. And now it's like there's so many different people out there doing similar stuff, and everyone is connected with the internet and connected through your YouTube videos and your Facebook pages and such, that it's really easy to find people who are doing stuff that you want to do or are inspiring you in some way, right, in order to work with them. And I think that, there's enough out there for everyone to work. If everyone works together, you get further along on this journey. For sure.
I really like co-writing songs with people. And I think that's DIT.
Yeah, absolutely. At its most basic level.
Is that do it tough? Is that or
do it tough?
I don't know what the T stood for.
Together.
Together is what I thought. Co-writing songs is really cool with different people because I think the song becomes more like widely felt if there's the more humans that are involved in it. I think more people will relate to it just because it's not just one person's idea.
Exactly. It's you're coming at it from a couple of different angles at the same time. Almost.
Yeah, and it creates a new angle that you can't get just by yourself.
Exactly.
You let humanity into the room, and it kind of finishes some phrases for you.
So now you guys are originally from Texas, or are you via Texas?
We are all from different parts of Texas.
Okay, cool. Tell me about how you guys got together and about how the beginning of the band and basically how did you first get involved in music and decide that this is what you wanted to do?
Well, my dad is a professional musician, and
that'll do it.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
That's growing up, that's how you put all the food on the table, and it was a very real thing in my life. And he was always playing music around the house and playing records and there were instruments lying around and stuff. So it happened pretty naturally. And then I remember once I had a band in junior high, I could pretty much get out of any class if we had a show or something to do.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
I used it.
This might help me here in some way.
To get out of lots of algebra. Which is now...
Look where you're on now. Now you don't know anything about algebra, though.
No. Don't need to.
Don't need to. Yeah, I think that whole time of life should be a little bit more about preparing you for the realities of the world rather than how many chromosomes are in a plant or something. Yeah, that's important stuff to know if you want to be a scientist, but it just seems like there are real world things that could help at that point in time.
Dating class.
How to write a check. That although we don't really have to do that anymore. Everything's online now. But how to pay your bill. How a mortgage works. That would be nice to learn how to do.
That's the scariest stuff in my life.
I know.
Which is good because it used to be bears and stuff when we were lower on the food chain.
Yes, that's
true. So I'm not going to get eaten.
But hopefully not. You play a song out in some place in Colorado or something, you really got to watch your back. You drive-by bearing or something.
The Bears.
The Bears. There you go. And I have a Cubs jersey on, so those are baby bears. So
I know. It's all coming together.
It's all coming together. This whole interview is just is just taking right off. So I have a question. So how did you guys get together? How did the band start? If you're all from different parts of Texas, how did you meet and make this happen?
Deez and Brian, first they came to the college in San Marcos, which is where I grew up and still live. They went to college there. It's called Texas State. It's a really cool town.
Texas State, yeah.
There's a river. It's beautiful. And there's a really strong music community. And so we all sort of started playing the same bands and getting to know each other there. And then we played in a band called Sons of Fathers that I kind of started. And we played in that for like 4 years together.
And that was a very big touring band. You guys are touring all over the world.
We did not all over the world. The furthest north we went was Bridgeport.
Okay, all right. So not New England. Okay.
That's as far as we went. No, that was really fun, and we took a fun ride and made some good music. And then it imploded, and then from the ashes rose the Phoenix, which is Blue Healer.
Blue Healer. Maybe even a little. There's a whole little healer thing in there, and if it imploded, maybe there's a double entendre thing going on there.
For sure, and I think that was sort of, I didn't even realize that till a little after the band got going. And somebody mentioned that, and I was like, maybe you are correct.
Yeah. You never know. Sometimes your subconscious is stronger than you realize, and it gives you different things come out that you never really thought about.
For sure. And that happens too with with songs that you'll write. Like I'll write a song and then not know why I wrote it, and then a year later something happens in your life and you're like, oh, that's what that's about.
Yeah,
that's who that was. That'll happen too, where you write something before and then then it means more a little later or something, or it changes.
So speaking about writing songs, what is the songwriting process in the band? Is it mostly you and with help from the other guys, or how does your songwriting process work?
I drum up songs in different forms, on different instruments. I'll write on the piano, I'll write on the guitar. Sometimes I'll write on the bass, but mostly the guitar and the piano. And have them in different stages. Sometimes it's just an idea and a lick, and we jam on it and it really works. And then I'll go back and write on what we how it grew when we brought it to the band, and then I'll kind of write in that form. Or other times it's completely full songs that we then adapt to the band. So there's a couple different notes.
And by playing together for years, it's almost like second nature that you know what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. So even when you're writing it, they might not be actually writing the song with you, but by playing with them for so long, you already know how they go about their business almost. For sure.
And the more that this band gets going, the more you can kind of lob up a tune that what kind of beat Deez is going to bring to the table, and Brian's capabilities on the keys and how he can fill stuff out. So you don't have to fill up everything when you're writing.
It's not from scratch. You're starting from a point where
you just don't have to do everything. So you can write more simply and leave a lot of space because something cool is going to happen.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of your songs are really spectacular. I know we were just talking about the video for
Luminescent
Eyes, and really great song. How did that song come together? What was your inspiration and stuff? I know the video is really spectacularly great, I thought, with it, going to the zoo and there's animals all over the place.
That's always fun.
And I really thought the lo-fi VHS kind of looking feel it has to it really almost makes it feel like it's in a different time. It was shot in a different time. It's like a new sound and a fresh sound, but it looks like it's an old thing.
Yeah, it looks like my childhood videos.
Yeah, exactly. Like a trip to the zoo with mom and dad or something.
And that was, and it was really fun to do that. And I think it matches sort of the lightheartedness of the tune. Because that tune was written down in San Marcos at the river. I remember seeing this girl that I ended up dating later, but I remember seeing her for the first time. And there was like a glow, like an aura, it felt like around her. And I felt like an animal looking at a fire, which kind of popped in my head. Like the amazement, like you don't know
of course.
You don't know what caused it, and it seems like
it was just there.
Otherworldly and powerful and tempting. And so that's how I imagine animals view something they don't completely understand but are intrigued by.
Cool.
And it had a tasty lick.
That could go two ways right there.
And it had and that was one. That's an example of just had that without any words, and that was around for a couple weeks, and then the phrase "luminescent eyes" kind of popped into it, and then it all fit, and then it fell together. Like the lick kind of hung out and was like
waited for everything else to get along.
It was on a batting circle.
Mm-hmm.
What is that called?
Batter's box.
No,
batting cage.
That's pitcher's box. No way. On deck.
On deck. Oh yes.
It was on deck.
It was on deck for the next song.
But it had to wait for the words to come.
And I think that the right words definitely came for that song.
Yeah. And it was a home run.
And it was a home run. It's a baseball kind of day here today. So I have a question. So in before we do these interviews and stuff, I always get a little
teary-eyed.
Well, I do get teary-eyed sometimes. I'm very excited about different bands, but we get little things that tell us about the bands. And I thought this one particular line was so spectacular in describing you that I wanted to bring out. Blue Healer cruised into the Austin scene in 2015 with the ease of your first high school set of wheels. The wheels you got to second base in on a neon-tinged Friday night.
Yeah.
Would that be how you would describe your sound?
Yeah. That's exactly spot on. That was Brian wrote that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really, I saw it just jumped right off the page at me. I thought that was so perfect.
It's really good. Brian is a really good writer. That's what he went to school for. And he wrote that whole thing, and he came to the next practice one day and showed it to us, and we're like, oh my god, this is awesome.
That's awesome.
So it's really cool. Like, it's really cool. This band has a lot of different, like, everybody has their part in it, and it's like, it's really fun to make a whole thing with your friends, and it's, you know, it's more than just the music. It's like the whole adventure. It's
your life, you know. When you're in a band and you're in a working band, you're on the road. You are smelling each other and hearing each other's complaints and hearing the happy times and the great, sharing these great memories that you could never even have guessed that you were going to have at one point.
Exactly.
And it creates a certain bond, a brotherhood between the guys in the band, I would think.
For sure.
And especially, like you say, you've been together for years, that it's even more. It's one thing for one guy to come in and pop in for an album and do one thing, but when you have really, you're living your life with your friends and the life that you want, and I think that is so incredibly rare in today's world. So many people want to, you know, feel like they have to live a certain kind of life and do some things, and they forget to chase their dreams. And I think it's really spectacular that you guys are making some incredible music and really chasing your dreams out there.
Thank you.
And so what's so you're here. We were doing a little East Coast leg of your tour. What's next for you guys?
We have Rockwood tonight, which is a really great room, and then we go to Boston at a club called the Medeiros.
North of Groton, Connecticut.
Yeah. So going to uncharted territory.
Awesome.
Although there are charts on it, so we'll be able to
see a map here somewhere.
It'll be good. And then we go to Philadelphia, and then we go to DC, and then we drive home. Awesome. What do you have planned after that? Any kind of setting up some new music, any recordings, any kind of release schedule? We do. Every time we come back home, we make it a point to go in the studio and get some work done here, because we're getting more busy. So going right off the road and
right back in and stuff, and we've seen something else up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play piano for like 3 days.
Awesome. That's a great thought to have. That's a great thing to look forward to.
That's for like, at least for like one full day. Like when I get home, get like a bottle of wine or two.
Or two big ones.
Or one big one, or a box. The box is really
the box is always the way to go. Yes, you never run out that way.
You can't break them, or they're harder to break.
They'll never say can't. Exactly. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate getting to know you a little bit here.
Yeah.
And hearing a little bit of what makes you guys tick. And I guess you're gonna play a little song for us and tell us about it. Tell us about the song.
Okay. I want to play a song from my buddy Sawyer, who I went to school with, and I don't want to say anything else about it.
Okay.
On the outside he was shining, on the inside he was broke. He did his best to hide it, you never hear no. We were just becoming friends when he stepped off the bus. He had a ghost inside him, invisible to us. And if you feel like dancing, go on with yourself. If you feel like dancing, falling down a flight of stairs just to make you smile. He'd get up and laugh it off, bleeding all the while. Once he said, I hurt myself, but that was never her. He had a ghost inside him, stealing every word. And if you feel like dancing, go on with yourself. If you feel like dancing. He was gone for a couple of days, and then he reappeared with a dead sad look in his face, cigarettes behind his ears. And we could tell that he was getting bad, but nobody said a thing. He had a ghost inside him that she could not contain. And if you feel like dancing, go on with yourself. If you feel like dancing, standing in an orchard while the choir sings, to find out why you done it, you need a pair of wings. And even though they told him just how much he was loved, he had a ghost inside him that he had to give up. And if you feel like dancing, go on with yourself. If you feel like dancing, go on with yourself. If you feel like dancing, go on with yourself. If you feel like dancing, you won't want it anything else. Thank you very much. That's from my buddy Sawyer and his family.